Bring 3 quarts of water to a boil in the Dutch oven and season with 2 tablespoons of the salt. Add the beans and return the water to a boil and cook until barely crisp, 5 minutes give or take, depending on how ripe and fresh said beans are. Once drained, move immediately to cold water, which is easy if you're using a salad spinner. Add a few handfuls of ice. This is called shocking, and the goal is to stop the cooking dead in its tracks. There. Now go ahead and take the beans for a spin as we want them dry as possible. Perfect. Now set aside. Okay, set aside. I see them. Place the Dutch oven back on the cooktop and add the oil. There. Now I like to check with a ruler to make sure that I've got an inch. That's close enough. And then put over medium-high heat. The thermal target is 375. There. Keep an eye on that. All right, next, toss the onions in the rice flour. And yes, you absolutely should use, guess what? Your hands for this. Yeah, just make sure they're clean. There. Good coverage. When the oil's at temp, and that looks about right, go ahead and cook the onions in 3 batches, each of which will take about 5 minutes to reach a golden brown perfection. Now give them a stir. You can use your spider for this or any of the other tools that you feel like. Well, maybe not the ruler. All right, you want to pull them when they look like this because the next step is burnt and it can happen very, very quickly. There, just dry on the paper towels, or rather drain. And then you'll have something that looks like this, and that's pretty gorgeous. Go ahead and season with just a little bit of the kosher salt. No exact measurement here. All right, next, put your best 12-inch cast iron skillet over medium-high heat and add the butter. And when the butter foams, add the mushrooms along with 2 teaspoons of salt. Hurry up with the salt. And a teaspoon of black pepper, which I know I already showed you is pre-ground, but only because we couldn't fit a pepper mill in shot. You want to do it this way. All right, in about 10 minutes, your mushrooms should look like this. So stir in the garlic and the nutmeg that you just grated like 10 minutes ago, there, and cook for 30 seconds. And if there's no fat in the pan, which could happen depending on the mushrooms, melt in another tablespoon of butter. Then once the foaming subsides, sprinkle in the flour. Remove the French call sanger, which means sprinkle flour over stuff cooked in fat. All right, and stir that in and cook for 1 minute just to get the rawness out of the flour. There, now stir in the vinegar and the broth, kind of scraping around any stuck bits that might be on the bottom of the pan. There, and when you've got a simmer, which won't take very long, go ahead and add the half and half. We're going to bring that back to a simmer, and then reduce the heat to low and continue simmering until the sauce is rather thick. 10 minutes should do the trick. Then stir in half the fried onions. Don't worry, there's still going to be plenty for the top. And then stir in the blanched beans. Then top with the remaining onions. When your oven hits 350, transfer the skillet into the box and bake until the sauce at the sides is bubbling and the top is deep golden brown. It'll take 10 to 15 minutes. Move to a trivet and serve straight from the pan. I don't need no turkey, I don't need no gravy, I don't need no giblets and no dressing. I don't need pesky relations, I don't need parades or sales. I just need this. Actually, I don't even really need this. I just need all these crunchy onions on top. You know, it helps to have something sticky to hold it all together.